Hey everybody, this is Rocket Road with the Ice Cream Soldiers, coming at you with our very first build and guide for the long-awaited Danger Zone Crunch build. We'll get right into it with our two affinities here, Chaos and Growth. You need the Chaos for the red zone, obviously, and Growth for the amazing jungle cards. I'll go ahead next. I'm going to go ahead and go to the gems first. Ending screen's easier for the cards. First gem we're going to slot is Jungle Lifesteal and Vitality. Basic attacks restore 4 health against jungle minions. Crunch needs help with that sustain in the jungle. This is going to help him out. Next one is damage reduction. Reduce basic damage taken by 10%. You're a frontline, you're a tank. Anything you can get to just reduce damage that you take, help you absorb more, is going to be super helpful for you. Just running in there, comboing people, crunching them, and then also they can't do damage to you. And then again, damage return. Return 10% of basic damage taken. So basically you're getting a 20% damage reduction to basic attacks with a 10% reduction to ability, and you're returning 10, or actually that's just basic, so yeah, 20% reduction to basic damage, and 10% of it's being reflected back. I picked 20% mana regen on this one because mana regen is helpful on Crunch. He is quite the mana hog. In our agility, we're going to have just one gem. We're going to ignore slot 1 and slot 7. We'll go straight to mana generator. 2.5 power on this one. I think that's the best gem I have for mana generator. We can go ahead and check real quick. 2.5 power, 35 mana, or yeah. So I just went with the power. It's the best one I have. If I had like mana regen, maybe I'd go with that. But restore 7 mana when you land a basic attack. You're not going to be basic attacking a whole lot with Crunch until you do get low mana, but you do weave in basic attacks in between each ability to combo efficiently and get your cooldowns going. So yeah, so this is very helpful. It will be extremely helpful in the later game. Intellect, we're going to have 2 gems slotted. Nothing in slot 1. Slot 2, I went with Blade Turn, so blocks the next basic attack after casting an ability. It's got a 15-second cooldown. Sounds like it's kind of niche, cliche, you know, just kind of like, is this really going to be that good? Crunch is always casting abilities, so you will probably proc this every 15 seconds. Imagine you have vision on Kallari. You know Kallari's coming up with her sneak attack, and she's got Deathcrawler on. I mean, that would be devastating. Just imagine if you cast an ability right before she hits you, you just completely blocked that, because that's a basic attack. So you've just negated all that damage, all that she is even good for, and then you can just proceed to annihilate her. So yeah, this has its place, and it does, again, help you be more tanky and block some more attacks. Our last gem in the intellect is Mana Fountain. This is extremely important. It's basically, if you guys are familiar with version 41, this is Infinity Stream all in a gem. Regen up to 10 mana per second based on missing mana. This will help Crunch out a lot because, again, he is a mana hog. He has, you know, some mana problems sometimes. I chose Ability Armor this one just to help him a little bit with the ability side of things. He's got, especially since you'll be leveling up agility a little bit, he will have enough basic armor. So I felt like the ability armor would be more useful in this sense. Now onto the cards. I'm just going to go over here. It's easier to see the cards this way. The first card we're going to start with in your build is Living Guardian. You're going to pick your Jungle Lifesteal as your first gem, which will give you that 1 vitality point for Living Guardian. Fortifying Strikes grants a stack of 2 basic armor for 10 seconds. This effect can stack up to 10 times. Basically, you'll go into the jungle. Jungle minions will do absolutely nothing to you. You have the perfect sustain now. Character originally had no sustain. Now you have great sustain. This will also help you fighting the enemy ADC, punking on them. Anyone with basic attacks. If there's a jungle chimera that's facing you, oh, this is fantastic because he's basic attacks. So fantastic card. The next cards you will be equipping after this are your Jungle Key, the Mother Tree, Jungle Restoration. It'll regen 2.2 health regen while in the jungle, I believe, and it's got 4.4 health regen. Very helpful, again, with the sustain and just kind of helping you out and keep full health so you can be ready for those ganks and everything. And then Coin Master. Bonus gold every 10 seconds. You get 8 every 10 seconds while in combat, 16 while out of combat. Just help you get that currency up and running, just going as quickly as you can. The next 2 cards that you'll be running, you're going to be replacing Living Guardian, and you're going to replace Coin Master for Growth Totem and Tyrant. Growth Totem did a review of this in a previous video. Fantastic card. Every minute you gain, what, 0.4 damage and 15 max health, and it's unlimited, so this just scales all the way out throughout the game. Also, it has the trait Cultivate. The cost is reduced by 500 with each point purchased, so this makes this build. This also speeds the build up, because you don't need to pay that 4,500 gold, just get 9 attribute points allocated, and this is free. It really helps speed this up. The other card, Tyrant, Jungle Health. Once you kill I think it's 50 jungle minions? Yeah, kill 50 jungle minions and gain 200 max health. Still trying to figure out if that stacks. If it doesn't, I'll end up replacing this card later in the build, after I've used it early game. And then Jungle Power, you gain 0.8 power, 0.4 power for every jungle. Yeah, 0.4 power for every jungle minion kill, and it stacks up to 50 times. So good early game, and once you've stacked it, if that health doesn't continue to stack and it has a max like the Jungle Power does, then you will want to replace this card later game. But I haven't really had any issues. I've been running basically final build, Growth Totem, Tyrant, and Red Zone, and it's been perfectly fine. Okay, generally, I tend to work towards replacing the Mother Tree after I get Growth Totem and Tyrant with Unstable Cyborg. Gives you some power, gives you some basic armor, and then you have a 20% chance to deal 125 ability damage to all nearby enemies, and every 0.4 seconds. So they hit you, and then they're just basically getting punished for hitting you. They have a chance to just get hit back. It's fantastic. Helps you with jungle clear, works on minions, works on players. You're going to be that, again, you're that front line. You're going up front. This helps you be that front line. And finally, after you get Unstable Cyborg, usually I save up to get into Red Zone. Red Zone, this card is absolutely fantastic. I know a lot of people have some controversy on this. I will be doing a card guide on this alone soon. But the passive Red Zone, heroes both deal and receive 50% bonus damage. So basically what this means is anyone in this aura is taking 100% damage and dealing 100% damage. Sounds really risky, but this card is perfect for burst heroes, and Crunch is a burst hero, so he can just go in there, boom, blow things up real quick. Other cards that we run in here just for fill and just in case, Reactor Beast, really good card, resets all basic cooldowns after killing someone. Really good on Crunch because, I mean, sometimes you, believe it or not, his cooldowns are really low, but you still sometimes are reeling after spending all of them on someone, and then you don't have enough cooldowns to catch up to the other person. This can help. Amplification Engineer is basically Tainted Magic from version 41. Whenever you cast an ability, you deal 8% of enemies' max health as additional ability damage around you, so you kind of just burn them. And you're going to be casting abilities a lot as Crunch, so this is actually a pretty good card. Thorned Yomi. Now this card has a really good synergy with Red Zone. Basically, you reflect 65% of the damage you would take back at the opponent for 4 seconds. And it has a 30-second cooldown. It gives you some basic armor, some power. If you have Red Zone on, you have like a Countess, which is going to be one of your worst enemies with Red Zone, because she can use that against you and wipe you. She comes in, she goes to ult, pop this, you just killed her, because she took all that damage, and you received only 35% of it. Fantastic card, especially with the synergy with Red Zone. And then I also have Apex Predator on here for the empowering strikes. Each time you damage someone, they gain a stack of 0.6 power. When hitting them, it stacks up to 50 times. At max stacks, you get 18 ability armor. Haven't really used this that much. It's just in there just as a gimme, and it could be helpful, could not, just depends on your playstyle. And then finally, Unbroken Spirit, basically the Thermo Bond from version 41, reactive regen. When you get hit by hard CC, you get 3% max health regen over 4 seconds. So, and it can stack, so if you get hit like twice, that would be 6% of your max health per second over 4 seconds. And then again, if you get hit again, that's 9, and then 12, etc. So really good card, because Crunch really hates the CC. So that's the general overview of the deck, and then shortly we will also have a little bit of a guide, a little bit of gameplay, like snippets right after this, but please don't forget to like and subscribe to keep relevant with all the information, and we will shortly be trying to come out with more content like this. Let us know if you like this, let us know if you like this format, and we hope to hear from you guys soon. Catch you on the flip side. Alright, so yeah, we're behind myself here. And basically we're going to just, right at the beginning, we go over the first card we grab Living Guardian. So we put our first point into Vitality, grab that. With each basic attack hit, we increase our basic armor by a certain amount till it stacks to a certain point. Really fantastic card, especially for the early game jungle. And then the first gem we get in Vitality is the Jungle Life Steal. Crunches one jungler that doesn't actually have any sustain. So these two cards together give him that perfect amount of sustain to get through the jungle, and pretty much come out unscathed for an early gank if you want to, or to contest that river buff. We start with the front minion camp here, try and clear those two minions, then we're going to actually rotate to our right to the next minion camp, and then go for green buff. And I think this match I had a tiny bit of lag, as you can see there. Crunch kind of lagged backwards on one of those hits. And you see I've got this red glow going on. That's some Living Guardian at work, getting that extra armor on for each of those basic attack hits. And we do use our Q a little bit. That's the first ability we unlock. It's our lowest mana cost ability, and it's the best for the jungle clear. Mana has been hit really hard in this update though, so don't overuse it at the beginning, because you do want to be able to have that gank potential, but you need to use it to get a quick enough jungle clear. If you just sit there and basic attack, you're not going to clear fast enough for your team to get that first Amber Link release. So very important to clear as quickly as possible. Get that gold to your team so that they can get their cards quicker, farm quicker, and hopefully get ahead of the enemy team. Alright, so now that we take the green buff camp, we come back to our back camp. It should have 3 minions now. We'll clear this, and the time right about now is 2 minutes and 31 seconds. The river buff spawns at 3. So basically what we're trying to do is clear these camps, go for a bonus since we have enough time. We're going to clear the one jungle minion in this camp on our way to river buff. And then hopefully we can grab the river buff without being contested right at the 3-minute mark. As we see, we got a Gideon who looks like he's kind of looking over here. Yeah, he's looking over here for it. And I grab it anyway. Yeah, he couldn't really get past me. I body block it, so he can't pass through it. We're going for early game gank on right. Murdoch and FaZe to help me out. We're going to try and see if we can't grab this Chimera. Got black buff too, so that could be helpful. We hit him with a right crunch for the slow, and just let him go. We don't want to go under tower and get too overzealous with that. So just proceed to go right back into the jungle. Keep clearing. Keep our gold stores up for the entire team. Generally, we're going for mid lane gank here on their Iggy, or their Gideon. Yep. Let's see if we can grab this. Gideon escapes. It's alright. We do let them know that the jungler has a presence, and that's extremely important. I see a lot of junglers play, and they don't show a presence enough. There's this balancing act between staying in the jungle, jungling, getting your team up to good levels of gold, but then you also need to show that you have a presence. That way people aren't just gonna overrun you. You know, they'll think, oh, the jungler doesn't even do anything with the lane, so I can just run over this lane, I can run over the off lane, or I can run over the safe lane. I've seen a lot of times where the enemy jungler will have free reign to just punk the safe lane constantly, just because your team's jungler is not showing any presence. So make sure you have this nice balance of jungling and lane presence. Very important to support your team in that aspect. So here we're going to go for the Mother Tree and Coin Master. So get our currency up and basically have a jungle key to get lifesteal off of the jungle minions. It also gives us a little bit of health regen, so that's always nice. Health regen's good. Going for a right lane. They tried to gank our ADC on the right lane. Coming in to help. Going in with the left crunch, right crunch, re-crunch. Missed the Kalari. The Kalari went to leap to dodge. And they get away, but I scared them off my ADC. So just don't chase too hard either. there's no point in wasting your time chasing kills, especially across the map. I basically served my purpose there to protect the ADC. Got the ADC protected. He now has time to back, since they pushed up lane without minions, really. We didn't really need to secure any kills or anything. Invading the enemy jungle here, since I have invis, I might be going for a left lane gank. Possibly. Yep, Sparrow is definitely overextended. Definitely overextended. I think we're going to grab it here. Yeah, we'll go with the right crunch first. Kwong misses the tether, but I think we're going to be able to keep on her. I'm going to try and cut her off around the edge here. Got a forward crunch right in the tower. Let's look at the health. Yeah, see, no problem. Had full health bar. She was nearly dead. No problem to just go ahead and jump in the tower real quick. If it would have took much longer, though, I would have probably let her be, and the last thing I want to do is die for a kill, unless it's like a really high priority target. Even then, just the main game of MOBAs is don't die. Just don't die. That's how you win. You don't die. You don't kill people, you just don't die. Killing people's great, just don't die. Looks like we got some people jumping up mid. I passed through my jungle camps, and not all of them were quite full yet, so I decided, hey, let me help on lane, let me get this Gideon off the mid lane real quick, just kind of show some presence, make them a little wary of actually pushing up. And that's very key as a jungler. You just want a presence, not really to gain kills, but more so to make people afraid to push. Alright, so our next two cards that we're going to probably try and get are Growth Totem and Tyrant. Extremely important cards to this deck. We're going to replace the Living Guardian and the Coin Master with these two cards. By the time you can afford Tyrant, generally I can afford Growth Totem because of its cultivate ability. So yeah, there's Growth Totem on. I think I'm one attribute point away from Tyrant right now. You need to get that Growth Totem on early game as possible. That stacking of that health and that damage is very important to get really soon. Looks like I'm passing through jungle. Even though they're full, I need to come over here and defend right lane since it's pushed up. I'm gonna go ahead and set this real quick and go back to my jungle, I believe. But and then Tyrant, you want to get also as quickly as possible. For each jungle minion kill, I think you get 0.4 damage, and then for each 50, you get 200 health. So two really integral cards to really any jungle deck. I mean, this deck is not just for crunch. This deck could be used on pretty much any jungle hero, to be honest. Just, you know, maybe change your gems out a little bit, because I have some mana regenerating gems and things like that in here that are more specific to this hero. But as far as the cards are concerned, yeah, this is this very standard kind of jungling deck. Words are few and far between now, so... Oh, coming in for a gank on the Sparrow. Can I actually hit her? Yep, we go with the uppercut there. This might just be a... Yep, that was definitely a glitch in the replay system. Her health was not going down, but it was going down, just in fact. Definitely didn't just one-punch her yet. Yet. Red zone's not on. So, that was a little interesting. Looks like I'm gonna... Yep, see that the Chimera jumped him, so I'm gonna just turn right back around, try and help to secure this. Gideon ult coming in. Don't really care much about that either. Wow, jeez. Maybe, no, that Gideon's higher level than I am even, so I'm surprised that that Gideon ult did not do more to me. That's generally the case when I'm crunch. I just kind of sit in there and keep punching. Just keep punching. Things die. We'll run with these few cards for quite some time. We are going to work towards probably the Unstable Cyborg card. Now that card is really good, especially as a frontline initiator role. Every time you get hit, there's a 20% chance that I think you deal 150 ability damage around you. So you get in those team fights, you're initiating, people are hitting you from all around, you get this 20% chance roll to just do this pulse of 150 damage around you and just damage people. While you're already punching the absolute crap out of them. So I might come over here to help the Kwong. Not sure what this Chimera was doing. He was kind of just standing there. Might chase this down a second. It looks like we have a Kalari behind us, but we're probably unaware of that. Oh, look at that damage, though. Good gracious. Well, Chimera got deleted. It looks like we're rotating right. This Gideon is possibly going to take this right tower. Yep, it's a good chance. I'm trying to see if we can finish him off here. Got that uppercut to keep him under tower. Really good way to use that is a lot of people will try and do the combo for the most damage, which is generally either forward crunch or right crunch into the enemy with a left crunch recrunch, and that'll give you the most damage. However, that does not keep a lot of these elusive heroes in place. So I tend to my bread and butter combo being left crunch, right crunch, recrunch. So you get the left crunch, and then you get a slow with the right crunch, and then you get an uppercut right after that. It keeps people in place. Then you can proceed to go back to a hitting them with your left crunch and stuff like that and combo some more. Especially when you get red zone on, the damage difference is negligible. I mean, most of the time I kill them before I even get to the uppercut, so... Looks like we got a fight going down on mid. Our Murdoch and our Kwong are in a pickle. Good pull by FaZe. FaZe saved our ADC there. We're still applying pressure. I think I'm just going to go right for this Sparrow. I don't care about the tower at all. There she goes. She goes down. Especially since I had green buff on. Most of those tower hits I blocked. We're going to go ahead and take this mid tower. Probably get a choo-choo train going. We're just going to freight train right through this. The Gideon whips an ult. Looks like they did pop that card to protect their towers for a few seconds. Not sure if I would have done that on a tier 1 though. Seems kind of like a waste, but hey, you know, could work. Could have been helpful. Kalari goes in for an ult right into the middle of us. Not too bright. Looks like Gideon and Steel are still trying to hold us off. Not sure if we take this or not. Oh, there's a shield slam by Steel. That could be devastating. He does not capitalize, though, with a shield with a bull rush. So, ADC being aggressive. He's hooked up to a FaZe. That health regen has been nerfed, so he's not getting back nearly as much as he used to. That Gideon has hung around way too long with that little bit of health. Their ADC is now coming onto the mid tower. We have no minions, though, unfortunately. Trying to take out this Sparrow. For some reason, the Sparrow's health bar is not showing up correctly on this replay. She has the multi-shot gem on that will help her with the wave clear, that's for sure. I think the rest of my team has skedaddled. So I decided that I finally realized this. I'm like, oh wait, crap. I need to go ahead and back up and get some mana. Looks like they're pushing up on mid. I'm coming over here to protect. I'm going to obviously focus down the Sparrow real quick if I can. Get an uppercut on her. Chimera comes in. Kwong lands a tether. Goes in there with an ult, it looks like. We may be able to take out this Chimera. Or I may actually die to this, because I haven't died yet. So this may be one of them. Yep. That Kalari came in and helped out there too, to secure that. I believe I have Unstable Cyborg. Yep, we had enough to put on Unstable Cyborg. Now, this card is also fantastic for the jungling. Jungle minions hit you, any type of minions hit you, you have a 20% chance to just boom, blast damage around you and do some extra jungle clear. Kind of like that Thunder Cleaver active. So yeah, there you kind of see that red pulse that happens every once in a while. Boom, that's the Unstable Cyborg. Looks like there's another fight going down on mid lane. We have a Kalari and a Steel, I believe, or no, Chimera Steel. This Chimera is going to get absolutely melted. And then, looks like we're going in on the, we need to turn on that Gideon. Looks like that's exactly what we do. Gideon goes down, going in on the Sparrow. Uppercut to keep her in place. There's no way she's going to live through this. Just absolute destruction here. She may have had shielding strikes on too, if I'm not mistaken. That was a triple kill, so hopefully we can get a capitalization. 2 tier 2s and an inhib. Amazing capitalization on that. Coming in behind them. Going to focus down this Chimera. Not even concerned about Steel, he's the tank. That's exactly what he's made to do, is absorb everything. So now we're going to just kind of poke at him. Kwong comes in with a tether, he grabs him. Excuse me. Goes with an ult, and there goes Steel. I see a lone Gideon on right, so at this point, I think I'm going to try and secure another kill, keep them off the map. especially since death timers right now are extremely long. Waiting till he engages that teleport, very important move there. I don't have the mana to really do enough right now, but even my basic attacks with that black buff are just going to town. It looks like the minions grabbed me there. But get stuck in a situation like that, just, you know, you're not going to get out, fight to the death, secure some kills, see what you can do. And then we now have red zone. This is where stuff gets fun. Here we go on the Orb Prime takedown. There's 3 of them. I go in, see that they're taking it. You know what? I'm like, you know what? Whatever. I'm going to forward crunch right in here. One-shot the Chimera. Or one-shot the Sparrow, I believe it was. And then take the Chimera down and take Prime for myself. Yeah, the power of red zone right there. That would not have been made possible if I did not have this card on. Looks like we're coming in on engagement on right here. Kwong got taken out by the Gideon, and we've got a ton of super minions and minions over here, but they clear it quite easily with that Sparrow and multi-shot. Not sure if we engage here. Go for the uppercut, take out the Sparrow, take out the Kalari too. Look at that red zone at work. And he picks up the kill. The phase tried to pull me, and then basically just kind of pulled me about 2 feet. But it's all good. He definitely trying to get me out of there, definitely trying to help. Iggy might be able to secure that. They keep pushing up on this right lane here. Oh, there goes the shield slam by Steel. Yeah, there's definitely a problem with the replay ID here. There's no way he's still level 3. Iggy activates his ult. He should have had some turrets by the Steel before popping that, but, you know, a lot of stuff happens in the heat of battle. You know, you're in the middle of battle, and sometimes you just gotta pop things and hope that it works. Got a Gideon under tower protecting this. He is a caster with some good wave clear, so it's very possible that he will keep them at bay. Looks like I've got another 28 seconds to pop up. Let's go back. Our Kwong is at base. Our phase, of course, over here, and our ADC is solo pushing mid lane. Sticky's there. You guys know him. He's a little dangerous sometimes. He gets in there and he gets in the fight sometimes, and he just kind of goes. But in this situation, this was a perfect move. I believe he grabs the inhib, and he might even grab the Gideon. Who knows? Yeah, he does. Oh my gosh! And he's gonna run. He saw that Kalari go into this. He's like, no. Kalari is forced to turn back though, because those minions. She's gonna try and get up on that Iggy. She's actually surprisingly not doing too much damage to him. There's another shield slam. That's a team fight turnaround. Why he did not go with a shield rush, that I'm not sure. They obviously focused down the ADC, get him out of the fight. The Kwong is going back into the battle there. Looks like I'm coming up mid lane. We might secure the Sparrow kill. One shot. Boom. Red zone. Red zone. That is all. Looks like we might finish it here. Coming in here, giving this Kwong some additional damage. Now, you do have to be careful with this card. It does give this effect to your allies, and it could end up getting them killed if you're not careful. But in this case, it just helps to secure the core. And that is game. Red zone crunch. If we look at the ending score, if it does pop up, possibly, we can see exactly how everyone did. Looks like right there, if you can see past the explosion, I can see right up there, 19-3 and 6, so 25-3 KDA with this deck. Just fantastic match. Really good representation of what this deck and this build can do. Until next time, we will catch you guys later.